Hello everyone, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Thank you for your comments on my reading yesterday and the lake and the inverted triangle. I had a lovely email from someone who said it actually looks like a swamp, Trump's own swamp. So remember, he came in on saying he was going to drain the swamp. Well, of course, he's made one hell of a swamp, hasn't he, for himself. Tonight, speaking of swamps, I want to have a look at how Robert Mueller is going in draining Trump's swamp. Now, as we know, he's got that subpoena before the courts. Justice Roberts is going to have a look at that. On December the 31st, we'll know whether or not the subpoena will be upheld, and that information from a foreign entity Mueller will be able to get it. So, interesting. People have said, is it Deutsche Bank? Is it Alpha Bank? It may also be the inauguration committee as well. It may be a lobbying firm. It could be any number of those things. Now, I want to have a look at, because I think this is connected in a way, I want to have a look at how the Mueller investigation is going. I'm going to do a Celtic cross on it. And then I want to have a look at Mueller's chakras, because that will also be revealing in itself. So it's all things Mueller tonight. And then we'll move on to other things tomorrow. But I just want to sort of continue with this theme about Mueller's work, and we'll see what's going to be revealed as we go along. So I'll just tune into Mueller's energy. Okay, so I'm getting that Mueller has a fairly good awareness based upon his long-standing experience as with the FBI and over the years in successive governments and in DC and working for various presidents. But he's actually drawing on things like when we say follow the money, he's actually drawing on his gut feelings initially as well. So he's piecing all these threads together. So he's using a combination of analytical and obviously intelligence skills, but he's also using his awareness of how things operate. Now, because I'm seeing him with light coming out of his third eye. Now that tells me that he has an awareness based upon experience. Now, what sort of awareness would be relevant to Trump's situation? It would be, I read somewhere that he did bring down a mafia boss. So he's drawing on these things, I feel, to see where the money is hidden, where they would hide documents, where that trail might lead. So let's have a look. As I said, we'll have a look at the Celtic cross and find out how Mueller is actually going. How is the Mueller investigation going? How is the Mueller investigation into Donald Trump, Russia collusion? How is that investigation going? The Mueller investigation into Trump, Russia collusion, obstruction of justice. Yeah, they are streets ahead of anyone, really. Okay, so we start with the Four of Cups. Now, this card is the divine discontent. It's actually when something is taken away and there's a disappointment that comes forward. That's the signifier card in this reading. Now, what that tells me is that Mueller is tapping into the feeling, not only in America but across the world. It's this discontent with the way things are at the moment. So he's very much been offered. Again, I see, this chalice coming forward. Sometimes it comes forward as a poison chalice, but in Mueller's case, it's been presented to him So this tells me that there, in terms of divine timing and a kind of karmic destiny, Mueller's been offered this quest, if you like. If you think about the Holy Grail, he's been offered this by the universe, and he's been offered it because he has the right blend of experience and awareness to bring forward into this information, into this investigation. It is no accident that he was in the right place at that time to be called upon to do this investigation. So that's our signifier card, which we'll just leave there, because that's Mueller being offered this investigation, really by the hand of fate, the hand of the universe, the hand of, of spirit, if you like, or, divine timing. It's being offered to Mueller to do something with. It's not an easy thing that he's been offered. So in terms of Mueller at the moment, okay, so we've got the balance card coming forward. And again, there is another aspect to the balance card, almost like a divine aspect. And here we've got this chalice here again. And it's balancing the forces. Okay, so Mueller's been given this divine task, if you like. And I'm not trying to portray Mueller as divinely anointed. That's not what I'm doing. But I think that people can be in the right place at the right time, and that they can be called upon because of their experience, because of their awareness, and for various other reasons as well. Mueller is a Republican. He's not a Democrat. And he's a very, very, very seasoned, skilled operator. As the former head of the FBI under both Bush and Obama, he was balanced. He was seen as balanced. So in this way, he's been given this job almost to bring balance back into the politics in the United States. So that's Mueller at the moment. He feels that responsibility. He's been offered this opportunity. I don't see it as an opportunity. He's been offered this quite significant role to bring balance back into politics in the US at the moment. And what's crossing him is the treachery of Trump, okay? Not only the treachery of Trump, this is the Moon card, and it's secrets and it's treachery. Could even be, you could call it treason. Okay, so what's crossing him, okay, is the treachery, the secrets being buried. If you see the scorpion or crab coming out of the water, it's this clandestine covert environment that he's having to operate in. And these are the buried secrets of not only Donald Trump, but also the might of the KGB, if you like, mentality. And also the massive links elsewhere across the world. He's dealing with people that are experienced in burying, in throwing people off the trail, in subterfuge. And that's what's making his job very, very, very difficult. That's what's taking him so long. But I feel that he's got what he needs. I feel that over the last couple of years, he's been painstakingly working. But look, let's continue. Here, the foundation of the reading. Okay, this is Mueller, again, balancing the forces. Okay, and we've got an overseas travel, a global aspect to this card. But this is Mueller, the Two of Pentacles. He's it comes forward as juggling and multitasking. He's running multiple lines of inquiry. He started with collusion. He then looked at obstruction. What else has emerged? He's also coordinating with the campaign donations, the violations in New York in relation to Cohen. He's also talking with Trump's chief financial operator, Alan Weiselman, also Weiselman. He's crossing multiple lines of inquiry here, and he's doing it in order to reveal the full breadth of the treachery. He's also weighing multiple options. So when I said he's using, in some way, he's using his, we might call it gut feeling, but also I would also call it his innate psychic-ness as well, because we all have that ability. He's also, intuition can often come as a result of experience and analysis. So it's like intersecting lines. It's like you have you're using logic, and you're also using your analytical abilities, but somewhere those lines cross and you have to make a call. I see him using his awareness to make those calls. So he's making these decisions all the time about where to take this line of inquiry, but it's also how to protect his investigation himself. Second guessing the politicians and the massive political forces that have been weighing on him. I mean, is there a medal that the US can give Robert Mueller when this is all over? A Purple Heart? I know that he's a veteran, but honestly, he deserves some sort of really significant honour for the work that he's doing. That I can see already under tremendously hard situations. And in the past, okay, so endings and beginnings, but there's a global aspect to this as well. So in the past, we're looking at the Russia collusion with the US. Who else is involved as well? What sort of global nexus are we looking at here? I think that we're actually going to be quite surprised at how deep these. Remember, I always say about the Mueller's cobwebs. Okay, so he's following the lines and he's spinning that web in order to catch the spider, and the flies, I guess. We will be surprised at how deep these links and webs run, I think, if he hadn't have acted when he did, when he had not taken this when it was offered, this chalice, if you like, this quest, what would it have led to? This is also pointing to the significant responsibilities that are on his shoulders. It's not just the US. We're talking about a global order. We're talking about global law and order. We're talking about global democracies. So very significant forces are weighing on him. No wonder this is the foundation of the reading, that he's actually having to juggle these. So it's really good that he was around when he was, because he is absolutely the right man to restore the balance, okay? The right person to restore the balance, absolutely. There's, as I said, a divine timing aspect to these cards. Now, what we're looking at in terms of the present, this is very much Mueller at the moment, okay? So he's very much in charge. There's no doubt about that. I asked how he was going. There's no doubt with this card. He is the Emperor, okay? The Emperor is someone who is in total control. He's not second-guessing himself. He's respected. He's a respected and supported figure. That transcends that vile Republican core of corruption, if you like. It transcends all that. He is a respected figure. It's the US and indeed the world is more than Donald Trump and more than a conglomerate of corrupt Republicans. Mueller represents the authority. He's carrying the baton there, and he represents the authority not only all across the US but globally as well. And this card is also showing the depth of his strategic planning. I said when I started this reading, he's one step ahead all the time, all the time. Okay, so in relation to the future, the Chariot, strong action coming down very, very quickly. Okay, strong action coming down very, very quickly. So this is telling me that within the next month, maybe the next even shorter weeks perhaps, we're going to have something coming down very quickly. Now, we know that his report's going to be done in February or handed down in February. I think we'll see something in January before then. Strong action coming forward quickly. I am getting there's an urgency around his work now. I really am. And the wheels are turning. The wheels of calm, of justice are turning. And there is a lot of pressure on him because of the instability of Donald Trump. There are multiple forces coming in now to say illuminate it, bring it forward. And I think that's what's going to happen. And my timelines, my Trump 6 monthly timelines, indicate that there could well be some indictments coming down now in January. This this card actually does confirm that again. Also, it also fits with my timeline which showed that Trump in February may have some health concerns. Of course, he would with that pressure that's coming forward to him. Now, in relation to Mueller himself, don't worry about Mueller. Look at him in this in this card. He's holding up the chalice. He's got the chalice, okay? He's got everything that he needs. The Nine of Cups is this, miracle card, wish card. He's got everything he needs. It's like abundance. It's like, as I said, everything, all the resources, all the information. He's got what he needs now. Touche is how he's feeling right at this very moment. The environment around him, whoa, Eight of Swords. The environment around him. Okay, so that's showing. I think it is showing. It's not showing Mueller because look how happy he is here. This is showing the Republicans. And I think and Trump and his children, I think there's some prison sentences going to be coming down here. There's going to be some court cases going forward, but I think there's going to be some indictments, obviously coming down in January. But I think there's going to be some people going to prison in this. I don't dwell on who's going to be locked up. That's not what I do here. But when this card comes forward in this way, in the position of the environment around him, that's telling me they're talking about, sentencing, obviously, Manafort, Cohen, Flynn. There's all of that. There's all this worry around jail time. But this is also saying that for those that are yet to be indicted, there will be some prison time for them as well. Hopes and fears. No problem, viewers. Hopes. The hope of illumination. It's an interesting card to draw in this particular position, hopes and fears. The Sun. So it's the hope of America and the world that things will be illuminated, happiness, balance, new beginnings. All of these things will come forward. It's also the fear of Trump and any of his colleagues or children or whoever may potentially be involved in this alleged collusion, conspiracy, obstruction of justice. Everything is yet to be proven, so let's not forget that. But there's also some fear on their parts as well. So interesting. This can be both hope for the nation and the world, and indeed for Mueller, but also fear for Donald Trump. And the final outcome, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, now this card is sometimes, can be this... in this sense, in this reading, what that is telling me is that this is returning... Well, the literal meaning of the Nine of Pentacles is this... balance being restored. It's like self-rule, independence. It has an association with having enough financial resources. So this, to me, is saying that there will be balance restored, but it'll also be balance again for self-government and the rule of law being, the confidence in the rule of law being returned. But it'll also have a flow-on effect to the economy. So that's what it's saying. It's like there's a lot... I'm picking up a lot of worry in various circles, and indeed I've read on this, that there is a lot of worry in relation to how Trump is running, or shall we say, isn't running the country. And that there are, feelings around recessions and, the tariffs starting to really hurt. And that's coming through from my viewers' comments as well. This is sort of saying that when Trump is out, things will be restored to what they were before. Interesting, though. This was the signifier card. He was offered something. Look at Mueller now. After 2 years, look at him. There's the cup, not, coming out, as I said, divine timing aspect to this. Will I take it? Won't I take it? Look at him now. He's at the end of his investigation, and he has got everything he needs. So that's the Celtic cross on Mueller. I did say that I would do a chakra reading on him to see more how he's going personally. This is a good deck to do it with. These cards have... people ask why I use different decks. It's like horses for courses. Some decks work really well. The Rider-Waite deck works really well when we're looking at investigative type readings. My Lo Scarabeo deck, again, is penetrating when I'm trying to search for the truth. And then my Arcanum deck and my Gilded Tarot deck, which is this one, work well when we're looking for some kind of personal, psychological, perception, mental, intuition, sort of more than just when we're looking to delve, these decks seem to work really well. So let's have a look at Mueller's chakras. So the base chakra, okay, which is security, the way that he sees himself in the world, how secure he is in society. So let's have a look at Mueller's chakras. What do we need to know about Mueller's chakras? Chakras are the energy centers, and they tell us a lot about a person, how a person is going. So let's have a look. Mueller's chakras, spirit. What do we need to know about Mueller's chakras? But his base chakra, his chakras, base, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. What do we need to know about Mueller's chakras? I think he's hoping things will be wrapped up fairly quickly. How he relates in society, okay? So again, this is a reason why Mueller was a good choice for the job. His awareness is so broad. This came in the past position in his Celtic cross. His awareness, his experience, his skill set, his age even. He's been around and around and around. He's lived a lot of life and occupied very important roles. So he's again aware of the responsibility that he has to the society, to the USA and to the world. He's aware of that at a very energetic level in his base chakra. So in his sacral chakra, his sacral chakra, which is the way that he creatively expresses himself. This is like new jobs, new promotions. He was actually, the fire hasn't left Mueller yet. When he was offered this, it was a way to express. If you think that he's got this kind of, I guess, basis to him, when he was offered this chance to do this, I won't say he leapt at it because he was given that. He knew what he was getting into. But at some level, some part of him was actually quite, I don't know if it's glad, glad to get the job. But he was ready for it. He was willing to take it. He didn't... I don't think he even thought twice. He was just aware of how important this was going to be. I think, that experience that he had when he brought down that mafia identity, gave him a unique insight into how he would conduct his investigation. So in relation to his solar plexus chakra, which of course is the chakra that we associate with wisdom and power, we get the Three of Wands. Okay, again, this world aspect where, we've got, he has knowledge of the underground, the subterfuge, the covert, and he's got that knowledge globally. He's also used to working with other people. He is a leader, but his leadership isn't autocratic. It's actually, you would find that within his team, you would have passionate, committed, very skilled, very willing and committed investigators, because that's what he's able to do. He's able to draw a team together, a highly functioned team. This is the card of working together. Okay, and he also has wisdom around these money trails. Okay, because there's a commerce aspect to this card. So he really, again, is showing me, so again confirming that he was the right person for that job. Now, in his heart chakra, love and healing, we get the Queen of Pentacles. So again, we've got stability here, we've got resourcefulness, but we've also got the awareness of the economy and the awareness of the importance of the money flow, of the lawful flow, I guess, the stable and lawful flow of money, not just across and this need for stability, not just across the US, but across the world. Now, the fact that this is in his heart chakra is going to show he's going to heal that. He's going to play a role in healing that, because we have, if we look at the bigger picture, so much has taken a downturn under Trump and Trump's policies. I mean, does he know what he's doing? I think there's a lot of evidence to say that he doesn't. Now, his throat chakra, his communication, the way that he communicates, the way that he teaches, total strength. When he speaks, when he communicates, there is no doubt. He will leave no doubt about who he is, who's in charge. the robustness, the strength of his investigation. Okay, it's almost, you won't, no one will be able to argue about it, because it's what he's done in terms of his investigation is so strong that he's virtually left no stone unturned. Okay, that's what he was aiming for. Absolute steel-like foundations to his investigation. Now, in relation to his third eye chakra, we get the Lovers. Now, the Lovers are about partnerships again, and this to me is about his the way that he feels about his country, okay, and the way that he feels about the relationships that he has made throughout his career, throughout his lifetime. This is a patriot that we've got here, and that's around his awareness, okay. This awareness. The third eye is often associated with psychic abilities, as I said. He has an ability to pick up on the relationships and partnerships that people have, and somehow get to the root of those. So again, there was another good reason why he was chosen, because he is aware of the covert relationships and partnerships between people, but he's also aware of what a healthy partnership should look like as well. And I guess, as I said, this card is also speaking of his patriotism. So his crown chakra, okay, so the connection with his higher self, the Hierophant. So there's no doubt about who Robert Mueller is, and no doubt in his mind either, and no doubt with his higher self. His higher self is aligned with his self, and he knows the role that he's got to play. Now, the Hierophant is sometimes called the Pope, the papal, the papal card in some decks, but really this is all about traditions and maintaining institutions and traditions. So that's in his crown chakra. That's his higher self. Again, there's this divine timing aspect, this divine reason as to why he was in this place at this particular time, and why he was the right person to undertake this investigation. So really the takeaway message of the Celtic cross, and again his chakras, are probably contained in these two cards. Well, actually, let's do the three cards. The world, the responsibility of the world, ending something. He has the responsibility to end a corrupt presidency, allegedly corrupt presidency. He has the responsibility to see that things start anew. He has the strength to pull this off. And look, his higher self is about upholding the rule of law. That's in his crown chakra, upholding the rule of law. Okay, so that's the reading on Robert Mueller. How's the investigation going? And let's have a look at where his energy is at the moment. I should say that chakra energy, while you'll get some of the same kind of patterns coming forward if I read on him in 6 months, obviously this is going to be, some of these main ones are going to be here, the archetypes or symbols. But they can also change too, and evolve in time. So they're not wedded in stone. Someone who's 19 may lack wisdom and power in their solar plexus chakra. But, events and life events that they go through, then they will gain the wisdom. So an interesting reading to put the chakra reading with the Celtic cross. How's the Mueller investigation going? I hope that was interesting for you, viewers. We're getting to, it's getting to be a long reading, so I'll close it down now. I'll be back with readings over the next couple of days. So thank you again for all your comments and your support of the channel.